Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here of Sane Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. And today's video is going to go ahead and talk about 2024 New Orleans Saints schedule. And once again, contrary to popular belief, there are reports out there that are stating that this schedule is going to be on par with this year's schedule, and they're saying that it's going to be once again an easy schedule for the Saints to have next season. But you know how it is, man. The way last season turned out, that's not even a guarantee because the way that the team prepared himself for games, or even the way the team prepared himself against quarterbacks that they had no business losing to this past season, nothing's a guarantee. But if Dennis Allen fixes his team like it's supposed to, the way this team should be, have this team play up to its potential, then we never know what could happen next season. But I'm gonna just go ahead and just provide like a few synopsis, a little analysis on, the upcoming schedule and the opponents that, the Saints face next season and where the Saints need to win and the advantages of the schedule next season. So here we go. All right. So for the schedule, you got the Washington Commanders, you got the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, you got the Carolina Panthers, Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers, Atlanta Falcons twice, Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice, Philadelphia Eagles, Denver, Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Giants, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got twice, Green Bay, Rams, and Cleveland. So you play for the division matchups and against the AFC. Next season you play the AFC West. So you play Denver at home, you play the Raiders at home, you play the Chiefs on the road, and you play the Chargers on the road. So with that being said, draw that whole slate. It will behoove the Saints to go at least 2-2 against the AFC West. They need to go 2-2 if possible. Not 1-3, not 0-4, 2-2. And the games they need to win against the AFC West, the Sean Payton game where he comes back to the dome, and against the Raiders. They need to steal us, win those two games, and if possible, still win against the Chargers. That's what needs to happen. You play. I think the Denver game is going to be a Monday night game. They'll start the season because the league is going to want a big ratings push for that Monday night, and they know that Sean Payton returning to the New Orleans storyline is going to have a lot of eyeballs, probably a sold out dome, and people are going to want to see that. And the Saints, that's a prime time setting, and the Saints could make a statement in that game, could set the tone for how the rest of the season play out if they can win that game. They need to beat Sean Payton. I don't care how they get it done. They need to beat the Denver Broncos, and they need to beat the Las Vegas Raiders wherever they play them. They got a new head coach. I'm not disrespecting Antonio Pierce, but the Saints need to beat the Raiders in the dome. Kansas City, that could be a difficult one because I think this was the Chiefs. 2023 was the Chiefs' throwaway year. They're mulligan, but they're gonna be better in the offseason. They're gonna get the talent that they need at wide receiver to be even an even dangerous team that they were, and since prior to since this season. Unlike this season. But the thing is, there have been reports out there that are saying that Andy Reid could retire at the end of this season. So with Andy Reid retiring, does that make does that play to that advantage of the Saints? Or the Chiefs are going to still be the same team without Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes together. So that may present an opportunity for the Saints to steal that game, but you never know. That's going to be a difficult game to win. It's just that simple, you know. Um, moving to the NFC East, you play the Command. You play. Let's see. You play Dallas on the road. You play the Commanders at home. You play the Philadelphia Eagles at home. You play the Giants at on the road against the NFC East. You need to go at least 2-2 or 3-1. The Eagles, we don't know what the Eagles may look like next season based on what we've seen, how the way we've seen their season play out. You know, it's looking like Nick Sirianni, their head coach, is only good as his coordinators because yeah, I know Jalen Hurts was banged up for a little bit, but he was not the same quarterback that we all come accustomed to seeing over the years. And Jalen Hurts has tore the Saints up with his running just in the past. Is that going to be the case next season? Dennis Allen prepared enough now that he has enough tape on that guy to where he can rattle him? You know what I'm saying? Dallas, that could be a tough game as well. You play them on the road. But like I said, if you can steal one in that matchup, They'll play into your favor going forward. Now, here's the thing about the possible early games. As we may have learned our lesson, hopefully y'all did. We now know that we have been like this in the past, but the early games could hurt you. Losing the games early in the season can hurt you down the road when it comes to playoff seeding. Because those teams that lost to you, even if they're still if they, no those teams that beat you, if they're still alive for a playoff spot down the road, they have the tiebreaker over you. So that's why it's important to have. It's important to win those games when you can. It's very and like especially at the beginning of the season. When you win so much games that where you can afford to take a few L's in the later part of the season and not be like last year where you had a lot of winnable games that you lost, but when you got hot toward the end of the year, you won 4 out of 5 games, but you need help to get into the playoffs. So that's what the Saints need to get better at. Win the games that you can, and also steal a few games that you can't. You know, I don't know if they're gonna have a Thursday night game this season, possibly, but we'll see. Um, you play the Falcons, twice. The NFC South is pretty much self-explanatory, but that division could be really bad again next season because you're gonna have 2 out of the 4 teams are gonna have new head coaches. The Falcons gonna have a new head coach, and the Carolina Panthers gonna have a new head coach. Now, a game that they might put on Monday night as well is against the Atlanta Falcons because they may have Bill Belichick there. He may be their new head coach. Now, who his quarterback is going to be, we don't know right now. There's a story out there that states that talks about how Kirk Cousins wouldn't mind playing with the Falcons if Bill Belichick, well, not playing with the Falcons, but playing with under Bill Belichick, wherever Belichick goes for his next destination. So that's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles. The good thing is, but some of the difficult schedule, some of the more difficult games on the schedule is that the Saints play them at home. You got the Browns at home. Browns at home. You got the Rams at home. You got the Philadelphia Eagles at home. You got who else? Tampa Bay, of course, is gonna be at home. Rams at home. But the thing is, the thing is, I can promise you that the game against Green Bay is not gonna be played at gonna be played in the beginning of October like it was last season. Where no, the beginning of September like it was last year, where the Saints went up 17 points and blew the lead. And, you know what I'm saying? And lost. It's probably gonna be played around November time frame or December. Maybe in the maybe even they may even play it on Thursday night, where the Saints need to win the game, but the odds are clearly stacked against them. Hopefully, it will behoove, like I said, it behoove the Saints to win as many games as possible in the beginning, so that way, when you play these games late in the year, these difficult games, it really don't affect you as much. You know, the Giants, you play them on the road, but Daniel Jones come back. I don't think that's gonna be a good football team next season, man. That's a game that you probably can win. You know, I think the Eagles game is a game that you could possibly win because after what we've seen right now, after what we've seen last year, this past season, Nick Sirianni, the Eagles head coach, is only good. Looks to me like he's only good as his coordinators. He lost both coordinators to head coaching jobs. The Eagles kind of took a step back after going 10-1. So that's a game that I think the Saints could win. Tampa Bay, you should me man. I think you should beat the Buccaneers twice next season. You should beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 times next season. You know, 2 times. The Chargers, that's a game that you could possibly steal as well. You possibly can win as well. You know, Dallas, man, that could be tough. That may be a tough game, but you never know. And I'm not, wishing injuries on anybody or any player from any opposing team, but injuries also play a factor into these schedules too, because you don't know what's going to happen next season with these teams. A lot of them going to look different. A lot of teams are going to regress. Are going to get better. You never know. Injuries. Then some of these teams could have long-term injuries to some of their best players. That's another bone that could be thrown to the Saints. So they gotta take advantage of every edge that they may get in these games. You know, like I said, the good thing is that some of these games, the tougher opponents will be played at home, and some of the teams that are tougher, that are difficult on the schedule, are beatable. A lot of them are beatable. Like Dallas is a beatable team. You know, the Browns. Who know what the Browns gonna look like next season? Because Deshaun Watson's cap number explodes next going into next season, and they're not gonna be able to keep a lot of those key players that they had last season. So in a good thing, like I said, it's played at the Dome, so edge to the Saints right there. You need to sweep the Panthers. I think they could do that as well. Atlanta is the game they may have difficulty with. You know, so we'll see how it play out. So you have to ask me right now, man. Give me like a rough, prediction right now, early prediction, record prediction on the schedule. You know, I will say a 9-8 record once again. 8-9 or 9-8. To me, this would what the Saints are heading at for next year. 8-9 or a 9-8 record. Now, is that gonna be enough to win the division? We don't know. Is that gonna be enough to get into the wild card spot? We don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I know that won't save Dennis Allen's job. They cannot bring back Dennis Allen if he goes 9-8 once again and don't make the playoffs. That would be unacceptable. Plain and simple. So schedule is not as daunting as you may think it is, but there are some winnable games on here for the Saints. I see a lot of games that are on here that are winnable. Like I said, they need to go 2-2 against the AFC West, and also at least 2-2 against the NFC East, or even 3-1. And they need to win those games, those difficult games at home against the Rams and the Browns, and they need to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and possibly split with the Falcons to give yourself a chance at either winning the NFC South or getting to clinch a wild card playoff spot. So there's that. But it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do to make this team better next season. What tactics are they gonna implement in the off season during training camp, so that this team does not come out looking lackadaisical, looking unprepared in these games where they clearly had an opportunity to win. They can clean that up going forward. This team will be in a good space going forward, in a good place. From a mental and a physical standpoint. Get that together, and then the Saints will be fine. But we gotta find out what they do in the off season. We gotta see what a lot of questions are. They got a lot of questions around this team, man, that needs to be addressed. A lot of issues. So we'll see how it play out, man, and going forward. All right. So I laugh y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Saints 2024 schedule? Do you think it's hard as the people are saying it's going to be, or do you think it's easy as the pundits out there are saying about how the schedule looks next season? And also, do you think there's a chance they win the NFC South? So let me know how you feel. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.